So we named this as Can Aging Organization Run Marathons? And there is a purpose behind that, which is, well, marathons are run outside, but they are won inside. So as I was educated in the Western world, as most of us, if not all of us, you know, I was training, you need to be successful, which, you know, very soon I realized that this is a kind of a relative thing, you know, because when you are 2, you're successful when you control your pee-pee and poo-poo. When you're 6, you become successful, you know, when you remember all the million things that you learned that day. When you are 10 is how many friends do you collect. When you are 17, you get your driving license. When you are 20, you get some intimacy. When you are 40, you become successful. If you are rich, if you are filthy rich when you are 50, you are incredibly successful. But then there is a flip that happens also in organization, which is you're successful when you're 60 if you have some intimacy. At 70 if you still drive. At 80 if you remember what happened in the day. At 90 if you have any friends left. And 95 if you control the PM pool. So metaphorically, this applies very much to how organizations evolve. And actually, anybody of us can be eternally young, provided that we have more projects than memories. So, consider this, which is the average life expectancy of a woman in the EU. Now it's 83 years. For a man, it's 79. And if you ask that question for organizations, if you ask that question, you don't get a specific number on an age. But the South Korean Central Bank conducted a research, and only 5,546 companies are older than 200 years. So this is like a flip side to that question, which is, the probabilities to live longer, and I'm going to connect that now with technology in a second, to live longer are rather small if we use this type of, or this specific research. Now the question is that they were trying to look for what is the essence that if I squeeze that essence, I can pass it on to other organizations. And what struck me was that technology wasn't there. So to me, that was like, wow, there's something here to pull a little bit more, at least if we consider aging companies from that standpoint. So can we measure how old is an organization? And the answer is yes, if we embrace the perspective, which is if you take like 2 thermometers, one of them is flexibility, the second one is control. Let me use them again metaphorically. Remember, if you can picture a baby, you know how flexible is a baby when it's born. You know, it's physically and mentally totally open, so super flexible. But as life goes, you know, eventually when you face the final of your journey, you become mentally rigid and physically stiff, right? Organizations do the same. Now let's think about control. What is the control that a baby has? Very little, right? We depend when we are babies. But then you gain control until an inflection point, and also at the end of your journey, you become dependent again. So those patterns also are followed by organizations from when they are young to when they become matured, when they age, when they die. So if we look at that, it's also you can say that you can be eternally young if you're an organization, provided that you have more flexibility than you have control. Translated that into more of a business jargon is you can be eternally young, provided that your obsession of delivering more client value than anybody else is at the core of what you do business. And what is control? Internal systems, processes, policies, metrics, and all the like. So you can be eternally young as an organization, provided that your client focus is at the top and beyond and what is your internal controls. So, and then technology, about technology. It changed totally the way we conduct business and how we drive business. And if you think about technology this way, is when I meet with executives all over the world like us, what amazes me a bit is that we get so much connected with what is the new thing, that we don't consider at times that there are already technologies and new business models enhanced by technologies or enabled by technologies that it's competing and taking away part of our market share right now. And you know, business models like platforms and the like, we are all familiar with the Amazons and the Googles and the like, But what it strikes me is that we focus more on what is coming next, as opposed that there is a battle being now fought right now as we speak. So I try to say, why don't we protect this territory as we gain the new one? And by the way, these platforms, some of them, like Apple, just to give you a data point, it's 8 times bigger than the GDP of Greece. So that gave me also a stroke like, wow, we are talking about dimensions which are spectacular. So the last idea is that what if we are looking at the wrong place? What I mean about that, which is imagine you go to a river and you hear somebody coming down the stream seeking for help. And we are great people, so we jump in the water and we save the person. Then you have 2 voices coming down the stream screaming for help, and you go and jump and save the 2. And then it's 3 voices, and then 4 voices, and you keep jumping and taking people off the river. And when you're about to launch for the last time, you see from the corner of the eye that there is a bridge. And from the bridge, there was somebody throwing bodies at the river. So when I say, could it be that we are looking at the wrong place? What I mean is that the single source of failure in technology adoption is being company culture. And that is not as high as the technology itself. And I started by saying that your marathons are run outside, but they are won inside. Also in business, the battles happens outside there, but you conquer them inside the organization. So if you continuously focus obsessively on driving more client value than anybody else, and you take ownership that each of you as business leader or politicians, that you own being custodian and architects of your company culture, then at any age that we may have organization, you can go out, run marathons, and win them.